Good morning. Today we're going to continue working on our color scheme posters, and we're looking at Joseph Mateos, and he did an outstanding job. I love the color scheme, although he's going to need, as all of you guys are, he's going to need to pay careful attention to this rubric that I've provided. So, for example, the AUP website, it's got to be in a simple font, white drop shadow, and he did not do that. Um, but I do love this sort of orangey, yellow, and blue color scheme. Initially, it was kind of difficult for me to tell that this is sort of George Washington crossing the river in the background. I thought it was mountains for a second, so I'm wondering if there's anything we can do to make that a little bit more evident. I like Jay-Z, I like the Hofstra Pride. Maybe we can shift this over a little bit. And you are going to want to take off the stroke on this geometry in the lower right-hand corner. Let's take a look at Brandon's. Brandon, you're definitely going to want to adhere to the rule of thirds. I like the placement of Moody, but you're going to want to make his name bigger. My recommendation is making it impact italicized, nice and large. We're going to talk more about how to take out this logo in a second and change the color to your color scheme. Laura, same thing. You're going to want to think about the rule of thirds. You're going to want to adhere to all the elements of this rubric. I know you started yesterday. We're going to work hard today. I think this is a beautiful poster. Jonathan Lantigua. Oops, Joseph Lantigua. But I'm wondering if we can make his name a little bit bigger and include more elements of earth science into it. So as much as I like these guys in the background, press Control J to make a copy because I like this. But then we're going to want to minimize that image and add some astronomy and some earth science ideas in the background. Najee, I think you are just about done. You're going to need to include the date in white 2014, probably in the lower left hand corner. Nice recovery yesterday, Lissandro. I really like this globe in the background. I'm not in love with this Beatles image right here. I think it sort of distracts from the main objective of this image. And if I were you, I would use the eraser tool and delete the top, including this sort of legend right here, leaving the two globes. And then beautiful start Miranda, this is really nifty. And I like how you've got Miss Roach on the left side and Lissandra, you've got Mr. Friedman on the right side. So I know in the rubric, I'm on the left side. I'm gonna encourage you guys to think about which direction they're sort of facing in. So um, Friedman's sort of facing into the center, to the left. Likewise, Miss Roach is facing into the right. That makes sense. This is a nice subtle background. You've got a great color scheme. Ebony, this is beautiful, although urban geography is kind of difficult to see. I'm not sure you're going to want to use this font, and you're going to want to make sure that you apply the white stroke and a drop shadow C3 to this urban geography subject area. Also, you do not need to write educational background. That's sort of understood. And make sure that it's either left align, right align. And finally, I see the logo underneath everything. You're going to want to shift it over so we can see it a little bit more easily. Autumn, this is a beautiful background, and I really like how you included sort of the nature elements, but we're going to want to use a paint bucket to create a solid background like your classmates have done. Because we're sort of so focused on color schemes, we can continue working on that today. And I would encourage you to apply either the multiply, but in the case of Lantigua, the screen blending mode. Screen if it's a dark background, and where is and right here, and multiply if it's a light background. This is nice. Baqueen, although we're not using the correct blank. We're going to want to make sure that we do that, but this is a beautiful color scheme. And I like how you coordinated it with Miss Pam's. Sure, that's nice. Alright guys, we're going to continue working on this today, but let's talk very briefly about how to make the logo in case you've forgotten. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press F7. I'm going to hold Control, and I could click on any of these layers that I sent you. I'll just click on the top one. And when I do that, it creates a selection around the layer. So I clicked and press Control D to deselect. I go to the Layers palette. I'm going to hold Control and click right on the icon. I'm going to then press Control Shift N to make a new layer. I'm going to then go to the eyedropper tool, and I'm going to click on C4. I'm going to go back to the AEP logo palette. I'm going to press Control V. Oops, let's do it again. Not Control V. I'm going to use the paint bucket. Great. And so now I'm going to press Control D to deselect. And now I can simply use the Move tool and drag it right on in. And so we're going to want to use the high res first, and you're going to notice that it's going to be really big, so you're going to press Control T, most likely to shrink it down. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, let me know. If you finish, as I think Najee will, in the next minute or two, you're going to want to start an additional poster. We've got the second half of the staff to do. The teachers are going to love your work. I really appreciate it. You're doing amazing things. Good luck today.